Oh yeah, Ekimi. Kábíyèsí o. Yes, yes. Ẹ dàgbà, ẹ dògbò. Ọ̀yọ́ Mèsì. Kò ní bàjẹ́ fún yín. Bẹ́ẹ̀ ṣe kí mi, èmi náà kí yín. Welcome back to the channel, everyone. In this video, I'll talk about Anikulapo, Rise of the Spectre. And this is how I'm choosing to pay respect to the production of Anikulapo. Anikulapo, Rise of the Spectre is a spin-off to the Anikulapo story that came out in 2022, also directed by Kunle Afolayan. This film tells a different story and expands on the world of Anikulapo. This story was a brilliant story. It goes without saying, Kunle Afolayan is one of the biggest directors in Nigeria right now, and his stories are always bangers. Not all of them are winners, but a lot of them are always on point. And this one is one of those stories that were on point. This story is a very, very poignant story that was intricately woven with a lot of intrigue and unpredictability. Because most of the time when I was watching this film, I thought I knew where the story was going. Like in just the first episode, it had like 4 different twists that I was not expecting. I was seeing the story going into, okay, this is probably what's going to happen. Then it takes a different twist, and I'm like, whoa, that's a very, very brilliant addition to the story. Then it goes again, and it takes another twist again. I'm like, yo, don't let me even have any expectations. Let me just go into this film and just enjoy it. And when I just devoted all my mind and energy to it, I freaking loved the way the story was told. In this story, because they're expanding on the world, there are more characters, and more characters brings more intrigue and more fascination to the story and makes the story much more interesting. And speaking of the characters, the performances from the characters were fantastic. The veteran actors that were in this film brought their A game and they all delivered. And not just the veteran actors, the actors that are not veterans, they also delivered fantastic performances. People that stood out for me in this film were people like Taiwo Hassan Ogogo. His performance was fantastic. This man is a fantastic actor. I've been watching him act since when I was very, very young. Until now, he's still delivering fantastic performances. His performance in this film was fantastic. Another actor that I did not know that I saw in this film was the actor that played Basharun, Owobo Ogunde. I've not seen the man before. Maybe I don't recognize him. And his performance in this film was wow. At first, I was like, this man is being a little too dramatic with the way he was playing his role. But when I got into the story and I started thinking about the way he was playing it, it made me realize, wait, I've seen people that are like this in real life. Like my uncle is not basically like that. But the way the man talks in this film, that's the kind of way my uncle talks. My uncle does not rush when he's talking. He takes his time and he talks slowly and he has a lot of pauses in his talking. And that was how this man was talking. And it just made this story and his performance a much more realistic and fantastic performance. Bimbo Ademoye was also in this film. I mean, it goes without saying, we all know she's a fantastic actress, one of the best actresses in Nigeria presently, and she delivered a fantastic performance, a very, very poignant portrayal of a character. Her character and her performance just made the story a much interesting story. Kunle Remi as well, his performance was also fantastic. I mean, all the actors, they did a fantastic job, and I'm just only highlighting those ones because those are the actors that stood out to me. They all did well, and their performances added so much depth and realism to the story and made the story a much greater story. And that thing I liked was that this series was surprisingly funny. Not laugh out loud funny. There are a lot of moments where I was just like I giggled a lot while watching this film. And it made me enjoy the story and get into the story more. And that's something I appreciated. And it's not like the actors or the characters were trying to be funny. They just acted how people act. Like I'm sure Yoruba people can tell when Yoruba people see this film, when they see how they react, you would also feel that kind of humor that I felt because that's how Yoruba people act. And it was just something that was so funny and so interesting to see. And I love that they added those elements to it. And the characters feel like real people. Like they do some things, they make some decisions that just make you question what's this person doing. And when I realized that element, it just means yes, that's how people act. People they say something and they act differently, or they just make some kind of decisions that surprises you. And that's that element of it just made them very, very human. They felt like real people, not just characters. And that just goes to show how good the storytelling and the writing of the story was. It was fantastic. The characters added so much life and so much depth and so much realism to the story and made it so, so good. And the dialogue in this film was fantastic. The dialogue was so good. They use a lot of figures of speech and proverbs when they are talking, and it just makes it a much more realistic and grounded story. Like, I mean, that's how Yoruba people talk. They talk with parables. They don't see everything. They speak in parables, and just makes their performances and the story a much more grounded and realistic story. And it made the dialogue so good. Like they use a lot of proverbs and a lot of figures of speech that made the dialogue so, so interesting to listen to. Like you just be listening, you just be hearing the ways they are saying things and what they are saying. You're just like, wow, this is so beautiful to listen to. They did a fantastic job with the dialogue and the production design. I mean, it goes without saying. You know, Korea for life now. It goes all out with his films, and the production design in this film was incredible. Everything looked so accurate to the times and had an immersive effect in this story. Just gets into the story so much because of everything that is crafted with it and how the whole thing is designed, and it just made the story a fantastic and much more realistic story. Man, everything worked for this film. I enjoyed the film from start to finish. Have you seen Anikulapo Rise of the Spectre? What do you think about it? Comment below and let me know. And if this is your first time on my channel, as your king now, I am telling you, subscribe to my channel for more contents like this. Thank you for watching. See you in the next video. Cheers.